I mean,
Okay.
that's how I got started in my first D&D group. I met someone for about 5 minutes, and they were like, "Oh, I'm starting a new campaign," and I was like, "Great, I will be there." And I showed up to his house, didn't know anybody, sat down at a table full of 5 people I had never met before, and was like, "I'm ready to go."
Well, you're doing it
How long?
again. Welcome.
How long
We
did it take?
are we are here. We're here. We're live. Welcome. Oh my god, what just happened? Welcome back to You Are Legion, the actual play series where the audience, you guys, get to be the voices in Legion's head, who we will introduce in a second. My name is Nicholas Coy Santillo. I will be your game master, dungeon master, storyteller. I am joined by Sean Boyd as the last blue dragonborn, Aelric Tiamaticus, and Bubo the Owlin Ranger, a refugee of the Sylvanestry Homewoods, played by Lindsay Owen Pierre. And Thaddeus Turnpike, a wizard newly resurrected, played by Sam Gilroy. And Harold Gray, a hard boiled halfling, played by Michael Keane, who's also playing as the Kender Cleric of Knowledge, Juniper Arley Candlewick III. But if you want to learn more about our amazing players or their characters, you can follow the links in our About section on Twitch. And without further ado, I want to introduce our special guest this week and for the next few, I hope, who will be playing Legion with all of you in the chat. Welcome, Laura Reed. Did I get your name right?
No.
No, that's your Facebook name. Oh my god, embarrassing. Welcome your Facebook
Hello.
handle. Welcome, Laura. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Uh,
You were saying you jumped in on a table of 5 people. This you've done it again. You've done it again, Laura.
yeah, I love throwing myself into incredibly awkward and situations that I don't know what will happen. So here we are.
Here we are. We're in deep.
Well, you came
There's
to the
no
right
going back now.
place.
I hope so.
I love it. All those cigars have given Harold a new accent. Amazing. I want to take us back to the Fey Wilds on the banks of a small stream known as the Dragon Springs, a magical land, these Feywilds filled with colorful landscapes and characters. But there is something rotten in the state of Versailles. The royal pools have turned foul, and the rabble have begun clamoring around ridiculous terms like reform and rights and constitutions. But out of the dark recesses of our heroes' minds, a voice calls, turning friends against each other and sowing distrust among all. Last session, we had a little bit of we were bogged down with indecision and lack of clarity. Whether intentional or unintentional, the battle was postponed. And we come back now to the Dragon's Pool, a group of our characters standing here at this stone bridge, watching the final burble gurgle of a drowning ostrich in the brackish waters. On the top of this bridge is the corpse of a very well dressed royal cat. We also have nearby in a double bagged is our library cat, still very well alive and kicking. And as the group decides that while the light is high, while the sun shines, it is time to pursue upstream in search of our foe. But before the party can move, Galeen begins to shift and change. And Laura, why don't you describe what happens?
Well, uh, if any of you ever watched Sailor Moon as a child, I would like to walk you through a Sailor Scout doing her magical girl transformation. So Galeen, your lovely deity of knowledge, gets shrouded in a sparkly pink smoke, does a couple of very feminine positions, and then it clears, and you are presented with a Warforged who is now a tall, slender woman with long silver hair, and all of the crystals on her body are sparkling like the constellations in the sky. Would you like me to
Amazing.
introduce myself, or shall I just stand here looking pretty?
Yes,
Veda!
but this terrible, terrible time for this.
I think this is, in fact, the most wonderful time for this. I sensed a lack of decision amongst this group, a path unclear to all of you, and I thought, what better time to come forward and offer you my insight and my guidance than now?
Okay, who are you?
Uh, what happened to Galine?
Sometimes knowledge is not the path forward. Sometimes you must trust in the sky, the stars, and the moon itself.
Oh mon Dieu.
You may call me Selene. I'm the goddess of the moon, but you may call me Luna if you should so prefer.
Is this name ringing bells? DM?
You can give me a religion check. Let's see if I'm going to pop in. Ooh. 23. What does Thaddeus Turnpike remember, Laura? Or know of you?
I I suppose if you have looked back into some of your very old textbooks or been told stories, Selene is the goddess of the moon. She is known for her guiding light in troubling times. She is very forgiving, known to be kind, and well loved amongst travelers for her ability to guide you through the darkest nights.
Dad's posture relaxes upon hearing this, or like your name registering. Um, but at the same time, like we just left off, the thing disappeared and we were all bickering, right? We were in the middle of like actually trying to go, but there was kind of like a little bit of mistrust of everybody pointing at everybody else. That's correct. That's how we left it.
It was a little
Harold
messy.
just came out of the cell.
Yeah. Harold just came out of being
Bubo just
controlled.
thunderclapped. Bubo just thunderclapped, and Harold came too.
I think there was
So
a
something I have
general
to ask
sense
you is
of
really-
consensus, but go for it. Yeah.
Really quick, how do you feel about regicide?
Regicide.
Yeah, pro, anti.
I remain neutral in all issues of your mortal world. I have no interest in your politics.
And are you still aligned with us going to kill a primordial thing?
I suppose if your group is in unison and your path is clear, then I will help guide you forward.
Aelric steps forward. To be clear, you have no need for politics.
It does not concern me. However, I saw a group in need, and I decided that what was best for you is also best for me.
Ubo steps forward and says, um, I'm starting to get used to this constant transformation of your form and your feelings. I guess at this point, I welcome you to the team and hope that you can be a contributing force to us. But one thing I must ask you is, what is it that you can do for us? Are you a fighter? Are you an enchanter? Do you use magic? I don't understand what you are.
I'm known to have a fierce personality in battle, but only when the time is dire. Mostly, I am a spellcaster and I can guide you using the spells that I have at my will and command. I try to avoid combat, but again, I'm here because I sensed your need. I'm here to help you as a group because you are so indecisive, and it's just hard to watch.
I understand. I feel the same way as you. Okay, well, I don't know if you can notice, but I'm smiling, so I trust her. I'm sorry, but I do.
Galeen, I just want to say to the group before we start marching forward. Galeen was protecting our bye.
Bye, Veda.
Galeen was protecting our minds, and now my mind feels distinctly unprotected. Does anybody else's mind feel a little exposed?
Thad being very vulnerable. Working on your vulnerability, Thad. Love it.
No?
No. This is the first version who has not been interested in talking in politics. I'm happy with this choice. Harold?
Concord for the sake of Concord is foolishness. Right? You can see where it goes. I think I've made it clear that I have my reservations about the path we're taking, but as the rest of you dear friends are on it, we'll walk it with you.
The only thing I learned new is that eventually we're going to have to kill both of these things. That seems to be the only thing I've learned new.
Let's kill the first thing. I'm just a little concerned. As the only person here, I believe, whose mind hasn't been taken over by this thing, I'm starting to just get a little bit concerned that maybe there's some things that you guys need to work through. Like, can we go deal with the thing that's been taking over our minds and then worry about what our next move in this place is?
That sounds good for me.
Okay. Thad grabs his staff, turns to Celine, and is like, whatever guidance you can give.
What is our wait?
when
Before we move, Celine, has Arlie interjected anything in this? Keen, has she got anything to say?
Oh, do you want me to play her as like a character that follows us around and casts spells, or do you want me to like play her?
I think that's a Quay question, not a Sean question.
I mean, because we won't have to explain what's going on as frequently. I mean, that'll be
burn.
I mean, what? Like, I feel a bit rude, like just impersonating Arlie the whole game. You know? But I could do it. But like,
No, I didn't know. I don't want to. I mean, I just didn't know what I didn't know what it was going to be. So I was just curious. We can continue with.
Yeah, I think if she's not
the moon
mind
says that
melded,
we should go and do the thing. Well, I think that we should go and do it. Something like that.
Amazing. I love it. It's a fine line to walk between taking a character and impersonating a character and you know, caricaturing a character.
So I'm not gonna.
Yeah, Laura, are you watching? Laura, do you have an eye on the Twitch stream?
You get the Twitch stream to play Claire when she's not here.
Yes, it's a wisdom
this is
saving
so
throw.
cute.
There you go. Yeah, Vikavar. There we go. We're gonna pin that. Yeah.
Wow.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
I'm feeling inspired, and I'd like to offer Thad my hand and tell him that he will have all the support he will ever need, and I'd like to give you guidance on your next wisdom saving throw.
Nice.
I heartily accept. That reaches out and takes your hand, sort of enchanted with this legion.
So it lasts until their
7 years.
next save, right? It's just like there's no time limit on, or it's a 1 minute.
I thought it
I
was
think
just until the
it's-
next throw that you take.
I mean,
Oh, it's 1 minute. Yeah.
I'm happy to say that we can just have it until the next throw. So you get a D4 for your next wisdom saving throw, Thad. Just to avoid and then I cast it again, and then I cast it again, and then I cast it
Yeah,
again.
we got it.
Cool. Thad, at your side is kind of snuck up onto your shoulder again is small Squeak Noir, who is our resident rat wearing a very large hat with a very nice feather in it, and a small
Rat with a
pinprick
hat?
rapier, who says, "Ah, yes, to have the power of the moon, we must have the spirits on our side."
Hits the rat on the head.
He takes off his hat and bows very low. "My lady, I will fight for you."
Oh, thank you, sweet rat.
It is Squeak Noir. Cool. So, if you want to excursion up, excursion? That's how do you verb that?
Excurge?
Excurge? Let's excurge, bras. But Harold, go for it.
Nice, excellent. Quick question.
Yeah.
Harley has so many spells. Does she get to cast any of these spells that she wants? She cast any of them? It's like 40 spells.
Yeah,
There should be some
she
that
has
say prepared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me double click here on her. Her spell
you're
book
a
should
little
have.
So the 11 that are prepared are what she has.
Yeah.
To roll with. Okay, that makes my job a lot easier.
What are you talking about? 40 spells? Is that too much for you, dude? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it is. I'm used to stealth check or hit them when someone else is beside them. It's very straightforward playing a rogue.
She also has most of her spell slots. She did cast the Arcane Eye, so she's down 1/3 level slot, but the rest of her spells should be maxed out. So I just made that adjustment for you because you just had a long rest. Cool.
Koi,
Yo.
I asked you in the chat, but now that there's a little bit of a pause, is there a way to get a just a kind of a resend of the specs on the cloak that I have? I don't really know what advantages it offers to me in any environment. I know it was sent, but I don't know exactly where it is. If it was in the general chat or.
Okay, I thought it was in your. Maybe it's not in.
It doesn't seem
do
to
we
be in
not-
my inventory
yeah,
in any
I
way.
didn't get it in your inventory. It is a. Yeah, it's like
Cloak of invincibility to anything? Of
Yeah,
anything? Cloak
exactly.
Cloak of you don't even try it?
It is. I believe it's a cloak of elven kind. So wisdom, wisdom or perception. Perception checks made to see you have disadvantage when you have
Okay.
the hood up,
Okay.
and you have advantage on stealth checks made to hide, as the color shifts to camouflage you. Pulling the hood up or down requires an action. Put
Okay,
that in
cool.
your-
So the hood, I'm pulling the hood up right away. Just at this point, it's consider it up.
Cool. Sick.
Cool.
I have put it in your character sheet. It is
Thank you very
equipped.
much. Sorry about the delay,
Of
guys.
course. All good. The north end of this stream, passing through a couple of ruined walls there, and then there's down a short waterfall. There's those two kind of southern style, two arching staircases that go up to a large pool. Out of the pool are some branching, spiky stone that goes down under the surface towards some my words today, some origin point, some origination point. And to the north of that is a dark mouth to a cave where the water is coming from for this stream.
Well, Bubo, you want to go first?
Yeah, Bubo is perching above the cave entrance, and he is using his like kind of perching vibe to kind of like look down from above into the cave. He rolled a stealth check of a 27, so he's kind of a little stealthy.
Pretty hard to see. Yeah,
hard to see. And he's going to do a perception check going as far as he can into the cave, having a dark vision of 150 feet. So, would you like me to roll my perception?
No, yeah. You in the cave, you see like there is a deep channel through the rock, only about 15 feet high, that runs for a good. Like you see kind of at the edge of your vision after about 120 feet or so, it opens up into a larger chamber. So this stream is running through this kind of this small channel and then opening up into what seems to be like a much larger room. And that's where...
Any source of light?
It is dark in there.
It is dark in there. No sources of light that I can discern.
No, you can't see any light in there.
Beautiful. I like it. That's my favorite type of room.
Yeah.
Cool. I relay that information back to the crowd. To the crowd? Hey guys, everybody, thanks for coming. I want to let you know. Je voulais juste te dire, I want to tell you that the party inside is very dark, very wet. It's going to be a great party. DJ Tutu Wet is going to be inside doing the scratches on the ones and twos. And just watch out. There's one guy in there selling bad speed. I think it's an Aboleth. Just stay away from him. Just don't do that. Okay, stay away from that guy. Okay.
The yellow LSD. Don't do it.
Yeah. Stay away from the greenies.
Stay away. At this point, the water does take up most of the pathway. Like the sides, it's still probably like traversable at about knee height for a standard human, and the rocks are covered in like this kind of slimy stuff, so this is going to be difficult terrain traveling into this cave system if you're walking.
Peering in and hearing that, I'm going to use my once a day long strider to. I now have 10 more feet of movement for the next hour.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Everyone want to like do their kind of like prep spells or whatever before we go in? Buffs us up. Do some reps, brah. Let's get swole.
Mortals, do we wish to be seen on this endeavor into this cave?
Guys,
I think it's better to not be seen.
Harold?
Are you in agreement that we should be...
Computer issue. I'm really sorry. My mouse just stopped working. I'm gonna try to resolve. I'll be here for a little bit, but I won't be able to like interact with my character at all because
okay.
The mouse isn't clicking. Sorry.
Oh dear. Yeah, thank you.
I mean, if you
have you tried turning it off and on again? Okay. We'll let Keen work on his tech stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we could just roll for him when the time comes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. For table talk, I'm just afraid that it has true sight. So like making our stealth better might be better than trying to give us like invisibility. I think that it might be able to very cleanly see through any invisibility that we have, considering it can get into our heads. That's my only concern.
I cannot make you invisible, but I can aid you in your stealth through this passageway.
That sounds good to us. Any help is helpful.
If the group is in agreement, then I am happy to aid you.
Anything that would make the big guy a little more sullen, I guess.
Nope, not pointing any fingers there, Elric.
Then I will cast Pass Without a Trace, without trace, on the whole group of us. If I can do that, me and my companions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. So you can, any of your companions within 30 feet, so we can just say everyone's kind of moves in close to get the benefit of this spell. And everyone's going to get a +10 bonus to their stealth checks and can't be tracked, which gives Bubo some sort of like lowest possible stealth of 25 or something at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Harold too. Doesn't Harold have sneak attack? Does that help Harold sneak attack?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Harold is second only to. It's the same thing. It's like it's ridiculous. Like in old school rules, like the backstab, like he just gets free backstabs, like you know.
What does it look like when you cast this spell, Luna?
When I cast a spell upon us?
Mm-hmm.
Well, from me comes a veil of shadows and silence. It's like I've passed almost like a smoky haze across all of us, where the sound of our footsteps is muted and the movements of our bodies is very fluid and not very discernible. We are in darkness now, kind of like nighttime.
Cool. Even in the middle of the daylight, this early morning glow, there's like this kind of darkness and quiet descends around the party. And with that, do we want to enter the dark mouth of the cave?
Bubo asked the group, I want to ask you, would you be willing for me to do a bit of a scout going inside to just look? Because with this newfound ability to hide myself properly, I think I might be able to be of advantage as a scout. Does that sound good?
I'm all for it.
May I ask how deep this cave goes from where we're standing to where he's going?
Yeah, so Bubo was able to see about 120 feet, like he has 150-foot dark vision range. He was able to see there's this like channel that's been built out of the rock about 120 feet, mostly straight back, and then it opens up into a larger chamber. And he can't see the extent of
Pass
that.
Without a Trace can only follow you to 30 feet. When you leave my 30 feet, you will be back to your regular stealth.
Yeah,
I believe my shroud is a 30 feet circle around me. So when you exit it, you are back to your own stealth. If you go ahead, I'm sure Selenig would walk a healthy 30 feet behind you if you'd like, to keep us both shrouded.
I think Bubo is. I think I'm going to be okay. I don't wish to be presumptuous about my abilities, but I think that this is exactly what I have. Where I famous last words, but I think I'm going to be okay. And he's trying to be cool. I think because he's infected by Thad's like slight smittenness of your new form. Yeah, exactly. It's a little like I don't think Bubo's ever seen Sailor Moon, but he's like, so the novelty is like pretty heavy.
But he wants to. He wants to see it.
He wants to. Yeah. Now he's like, I don't have any streaming sites, but so he Bubo does with kind of a bit of a flourish, and I think everybody might scoff at this. Bubo flies up into the air about 60 feet, maybe even 100 feet, goes straight up into the air. And he swoops down just to get a good amount of speed so that he doesn't have to flap his wings. He can just glide as he goes in. So he just does a big, tall, swooping thing, and you just see him like perfect, like owl approach on prey glide, swoops in and flies down the corridor, sticking kind of sort of closer to the top of the water, in case anything wants to jump out and catch him. And I don't know exactly how far it is before you require dark vision to see me, but if anybody is watching, once I hit that point, it's like I disappear prematurely. Like it's like at one point you just kind of like I just disappear, and I float into the darkness, and I approach this. I fly into this room.
Amazing, yeah.
What
And
the-
with your Lindsay's describing his Gloomstalker ability, where like when obscured by darkness, even with dark vision, you're basically invisible. So yeah, just like disappears. And silent feathers with the Owlin, the Gloomstalker just disappearing in shadows. Bubo is just less than a shadow in the darkness. I've created a little purple aura around Selune, so that is our aura of Pass Without a Trace, just we have a visual reference. Bubo, you go into the springs, and I am going to actually activate this map here
Thank you.
for you, so you can see in here, and you can ask me whatever you like about what you see. It is a large chamber that opens up to 40 feet ceiling height above the level of the water. This is mostly a large pool, followed behind it by a secondary pool slightly smaller. In the center of that secondary further pool is kind of an ornate carved dragon curled in a sleeping position. Looks like a large statue. In the center of this first pool, you do see, just cresting above the top of the water, two of those three vertical eyes staring towards the entrance that you're coming up through. And along the walls and the ceiling, you see just hundreds of bats hanging there. You see coils of snakes on various rocks along the rocks that are along the side and separating these two major pools.
What does the what like, I'm a ranger, so I'm looking for a perch. Like is there any sort of perch at the entrance of the cave to perchy McPerch?
Yeah, the only like horizontal perches would be these massive kind of bouldery stones that are kind of at the water's edge. The cavern kind of climbs up and closes itself, so there aren't any like Batman perches to step out on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is like a boulder, like this boulder here.
Yeah, exactly. All those are proper stone boulders that you can land on. It is difficult terrain if you want to walk around, but those are like you can stand there without getting in the water.
Right. And that's about, I don't know, like 5-10 feet off the ground in terms of the boulder coming
Yeah,
up
exactly.
into the
no
air.
more than 10
Not
feet
like,
above this
not 50
water
feet
level.
up, but yeah.
No. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to perch myself. You know what? No, I'm not. I don't even land. I come in and then I come right back outside, and that's where I'm gonna land eventually, but I'm gonna come back outside and I'm going to report back to the group what it is. Bubo says, I see a large cavern, I can't say it, une grosse caverne, where there are bats and there are snakes, and I'm pretty sure in the middle of the pool inside is our big fat stupid man. So I feel like we are going to have to come in very quiet, and I am assuming that whether they are in the control of this thing or not, we are going to have to deal with various amounts of pesky things coming at us for while we try and dispatch of this insane slug, brain slug. I don't know how to say it. Yes. Did everybody else see that, or is it just me that saw it?
I think it was blackness for everyone else because I've actually worked on the lighting and vision
Okay.
so that you see black and white and our audience would have seen what you see.
Okay.
But all of our characters who don't have dark vision, they're just going to see darkness unless they have light sources.
Okay. There's one other thing that I want to the idea of us trying to travel 120 feet into this place and then trying to succeed at some attack that is an initiative and feels that we are doing damage to it and without being caught. It seems very difficult for us to do that. There is a proposal, and I am willing to not do it because I will be all alone. But I can come in, shoot it, and then leave, and then we can come back in as a group. I will get a free attack, I think, on this thing. I was in there and out of there, and it did not react to me. And it is possible for me to. What's this?
Well, every time we've seen this creature before and we've shot at it, it's just disappeared.
Well, I understand, but I think this may be different.
It may be. What are our options for driving it out of its lair, Bubo, from what you saw? What else was in the room with it other than it?
There was snakes and bats, darkness, fear, little poop everywhere because of the bats, I think. And I think that's it. I don't even think that it's a bad idea to go in, shoot it, make a ruckus, and come out and maybe flush it out into the light here. It's not a bad idea to do the same thing, but with different with a different objective. You know, not to fight in there, but to fight out here.
There's one troubling thing that you've said, Bubo. You said that there were snakes and bats.
There are snakes and there are bats. It's a cave. You know?
Have anybody in the kingdom yet met any snakes or bats?
You talking about smart snakes or smart bats?
Well, the only animals I've seen since we've been here have been smart. So before we go in there, I just want to make sure that we're not like wholesale slaughtering. I don't know, how many bats and snakes did you see in there? They might be my
a lot
prisoners for all we know.
That's fair. That's very fair. It was, look, I was, as soon as I came in there, it was kind of scary. So I didn't stick around to do some interviews.
I don't want to go in there by myself at all. So there's no.
Yeah.
Bubo.
Elric.
Well, can we, how do we get in if we're not flying? How deep is the water leading in there? We're running out of bank to traverse this tunnel.
I think that the water, we will be able to traverse it. It will not be easy, but as I could see, it's not impossible to go in there. But I think it would be difficult to act normally as we walk through this. But I don't think it's impossible. I think you're all very strong people, and you'll be able to do very well. I mean, obviously, Sailor Sween, Sweeney Todd, it would be fine in it. As we Gallien told us, they don't even have to breathe; they could walk on the bottom.
I worry for Harold and Arlie.
Fair enough.
Thad and I will. Sorry, Harold. More than likely have to carry them.
What if we break the branches off of these these trees growing out of the waters here, so they could use that as flotation?
Just to clarify, what's coming out of the water is actually stone, like carved stone in
those branchy
kind of
things?
Yeah. It's like branchy things, but it's actually
Yeah.
I'm saying it's stone. Not that there aren't trees around.
Sure.
There are trees around.
Yeah.
But that is stone.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's my idea. That's all I've got. I don't know.
Squeak
I
Noir
have
walks
these
towards the Squeak Noir walks towards the front of the cavern. And says, Squeak Noir is not scared, and he takes out a small candle and lights it like a torch. It's like, I can brave the greatest darkness.
Hey, Squeaknar,
Noir.
the bats and the snakes.
Ah, yes, my winged cousins. They do not scare me.
Okay, if he doesn't have a problem with it.
Squeak Noir, why are there no bats and snakes in Versailles?
Well, you're now eliciting a history check. I believe something long ago, if I can recall, they, how do you say, left.
Oh, they left. Interesting.
How long has the aboleth been here?
Versailles has been around for hundreds of years.
Dude, how old are you?
Squeak Noir is a title held by my father and my father's father before him.
Oh, but how old are you?
I am 1 year old.
I'm sorry, you're 1 year old?
See.
They have I think they have the real animal lifespans, is what I think we just learned. They're like, they have, like.
I was scared last month because my father only lived for 11 months.
Yeah. Shall we into the,
So
Wait,
just
what's
just
the
so
plan?
I'm clear, just so I'm perfectly clear, the plan is to wade through water higher than my head and higher than Arlie's head.
Knee
in the
height. No, it's
lair
knee height.
Right. So up to my here in
Mhm.
a cave full of snakes that could swim and bite me. In the lair of a creature whose power we barely know and comprehend, that is aquatic. That's the plan. This is what we're doing.
oh, Harold, could you shape the water for us?
Not this much water.
Dad's deflated by that. Thought it was a really good
No.
idea.
I mean,
You can only shape but 5 feet at a time. It wouldn't possibly be enough to carry us all in.
it's Koi. Is this diagram of the water coming out of the cave also accurate?
What we're looking at right now, yeah.
What if there's another entrance? We've barely even cased the place. I know we all want to fight the thing, but could we maybe just check the area out, see if there's anything else that could be helpful for us right here? It's rare for a cave system to have only one entrance when it's full of water. Water's got to be coming from somewhere.
She who came to break a decision, what think you?
Excuse me. Can I do an insight check on Harold?
Go for it.
Paranoia boss.
Oh God.
What are you looking for?
Sounds like Harold's stalling us. I know it could very well be just indecisiveness, and it's totally cool. I mean, that's very much within a party, but everybody else wants one thing, and Harold wants something else. So
That's exactly
Just-
something Harold would say if he was enslaved.
To be honest, looking for another one of us, like
Perception
two of
check.
us posting here.
I want to do a perception check to see if Harold picks up on the suspicion. Can I do that?
Okay,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
That agrees that maybe looking for another way in. That is like completely just sort of rambling on why it might be a good idea to go do while this whole suspicion, counter suspicion thing is playing out. Like, you know, the sound would fade out while you're like Harold, like
Yeah, with Harold rolls a 5, so I don't think that's
Oh,
not much of
yeah.
anything. Just everyone's a little bit on edge. You did ask. What was the question you asked? She who was brought here to solve a decision. What do you think? I think was the question.
These are your two options as I see before me. I remain concentrated on concealing us all and we enter the cave, or I unconceal us and give us all guidance in our hunt for another way in.
Big guy, what say you?
I don't like being taken over, and I don't like being used. But I also recognize that my decision making lately has not been generally good for the benefit of the party. I'm hesitant to go lurching forward, although that's all I want to do. I couldn't stand to put you guys in danger again.
Then
Anything we can do to mitigate the danger, I'm fine with. But
Then
we
I
have got to get this thing either out and kill it, or we got to go in and kill it.
I'm sorry, I do not understand. I am asking us not to rush headlong into a dark cave full of snakes and a monster, and instead check for other options. Why is
No.
this even a discussion?
I agree
What
with Harold.
happened to all of you?
I agree with Harold. We've had a traumatizing couple of hours.
I drop Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
I drop it and I look to you all and say, we will find another way in that will mitigate our risk. Shall we go?
Boobo, why don't you take point inside the cave, and if our alertation or our quest to find an extra way in above, alerts them, you shoot right out and you let us know.
Okay. Bubo is like, Harold, you're right. I'm sorry. Let me go inside the cave one more time, and I will be right back. I promise you, I will be right back. So Bubo does the same thing. He does another flyby.
Cool.
Can I see it? Can I see inside?
Yeah, as you're flying in, with the dropped Pass Without Trace, Bubo, as you're flying into the cave, you hear little good boy Otis be like, "Oh, there you are, Masters! I couldn't find you for a second. You went away when I was hiding." And he's gonna go up the stairs and join you. Bubo, you are in the cave system.
Okay, just 1 second here.
You rolled a 20.
27. I mean,
I think you went out again, so just roll another stealth. Just
Yeah,
because like
sure.
you exited and still very good. 19
So
plus.
so that'd be 29, or the other one is so 29.
29. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you come in, you see in the middle of that first pool again, just like the upper crest of, and like the first eye clearly above water, second eye like partially submerged of those vertical eyes of this large fish-like creature. But it doesn't seem to clock you. It's looking towards the entrance.
Okay, so I'm going to what happened here? I'm just going to do my flyby.
Yeah. As you start flying by, you hear a familiar voice in your head. "Oh, welcome, Bubo. Have you come all alone? Are you turning your back on your friends? Or do you think to find something by yourself, alone in the dark?"
Bubo turns and flies away.
Amazing. Bubo pops out. Like, the way that Bubo pops out of shadows, if anyone isn't used to this, it is absolutely terrifying because there's, like, you have, like, the line of a shadow, and then, like, you might be able to see something, like, 5-10 feet further deeper into the shadow. Bubo steps out of a shadow as if he's walked out of a curtain. Like, it's as if, like, the line of the shadow is a curtain. So you could be standing next to the darkness, and all of a sudden, Bubo, like, there's nothing. I don't see anything. I'm looking down. Like, I can see a little bit further, I think. And all of a sudden, Bubo's just in front of you, which is how Bubo appears coming back out from the cave.
So Bubo comes out in true, like, almost like a French, Parisian French guy. He's kind of perches, and he goes, "I'm sorry, but he can see me. I don't understand, but he can feel me. He can see me. It's very scary." Okay. One thing, there is an entrance at the back of the cave. I don't know exactly how far we will have to go upstream to find this, but I don't know. Do you want me to do like a how do you say, a retconned like perception check to see if, as I was flying by, if I actually managed to see, like, if, you know?
Well, I'll
what
explain to you
water
that
looked
northern.
like
You were looking
or
at that.
whatever.
You're looking at that water, the
Yeah.
north side of the
Yeah.
map. Yeah. So that's that is a waterfall, a small waterfall that's coming out of the rock itself.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's like there is water coming. Now the water that is coming from that waterfall doesn't look brackish in the way that, like, the black water in the pools are. It's joining the brackish water. But it is like coming out of the rock.
Like rock.
Yeah, like it's just like a kind of like an underwater, like a flooded chamber almost. That's so there might be a way to get to the top, to where that water's coming from potentially. But the journey from that place to this chamber would be underwater. It'd be like a flooded chamber to get there.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was saying. So that's kind of what I had expected. So I say to everybody, écoute, I'm sorry, listen. There is another way in, but you have to understand. Oh wow, it's doing thumbs up just because I've got my thumbs here. Écoute, I'm telling you that you have to understand that we can get in from the other side, I'm sure, but I cannot tell you that it is less perilous an entrance. And because it looks like a waterfall, I don't even think that all of us would be able to come in without at least one of us falling, splashing in the water. Then we are in water. I could not make out exactly what it is, but maybe sleeping, maybe alive, but there seems to be a coiled serpent in the back of the room. It could be a statue. It could be a real serpent. It's very hard to make up. It was not moving, so I don't know exactly what it is.
You can give me a perception check on that.
Okay. Oh, that's a natural 20.
What? That was a natural 20?
That's a nat 20. That's a 30 perception check.
Yo. Okay. So that was what you saw there was the statue of a coiled sleeping dragon that is covered with like gems and carved, like its scales are carved beetles and animals and scarabs. And with that nat 20, you did notice that some of those scarabs on its that were the shells were like they were animate.
Putain, bordel de merde. Okay, so not only are there snakes and bats and the slug thing, it looks like on this statue, fortunately it doesn't look like it's an actual dragon, but there was a real creeping thing on top of it. Scarabs, beetles that could maybe fly, I don't know, but it looks like there's a lot of little bibits, a lot of little annoying ouch, ouch, going to eat you, going to bite you, going to slap you. I don't know. But
you can turn invisible, and it's still, you know, it was aware that you were in there.
it spoke to me by name and made me feel very it made me feel like a chick again, very
Harold,
small.
I don't think that there's any way in there that we can gain any iota of surprise.
Might I suggest we lure out the animals that we can kill easily and then take on the giant mysterious creature on its own in the cave?
I
I
think
think that's a great idea.
plan A. But in case of a plan B, I think that it comes down to a couple of us going directly for it, and the rest of us deal with all the little critters that are coming around. So, in terms of drawing them out, I'll go in and I'll try to hit a big chunk of them on the wall with a fireball and hoof it. I mean, how else are we going to get them out? Does anybody have a better
But for the
plan?
purposes of mechanics,
Mhm.
are the animals within the Feywilds humanoids?
The ones that you've seen in Versailles
Yeah.
were often taught like walking on their hind legs if they were not already bipedal and were wearing clothes. Now, you had those clothes made for you. You've seen how they're made. Like, they're kind of magically made by silkworms and stuff.
Yeah.
None of these animals... yeah, they're kind of like... But they're very much like the same size of these animals, of the normal animal. They just seem to be kind of almost the way like Disney animals can act like people.
So what you're saying is you won't tell me for the purposes of mechanics. It would just be right and see if it happens.
Sorry, I misunderstood the question.
Humanoids? Do they count as so? Some mind control spells target humanoids. Some mind control spells target animals. Clerics target humanoids. Druids tend to target animals. Are these cleric spells target these things and work on them? That's what I'm asking. If assuming they're these sentient beasties.
Okay. They would count as creatures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like Otis. Otis the good boy is like a creature.
Look, before I turn this over to the people that like to just smash, I just have one question. The water that you've seen flowing out of this cave,
Yes.
we can assume that this is the water that leads to the baths, yes?
We can assume that the water that comes from the river that we are presently beside leads all the way to the baths. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I can assume. I'm not. Yes. I mean, I would say that without knowing exactly, I would say that they have the same brackish look.
Thank you. And Squeak Noir, how
Yes.
long have the baths been foul for?
Since just before you arrived.
Okay, so it hasn't been forever, which means that it hasn't been here forever. So we were asked to clean the waters. I do not recall being asked to kill the thing. So, is there any way we can drive it out of the cave and make it relocate? In which case, job done, give me the portal, we're back to the world. The job description did not say kill the big three-eyed monster.
Okay.
The agreement was to clear the royal pools.
And this monster exists in these pools?
We're at the source of the water that eventually leads to the royal pools to fill the royal pools.
Harold,
This is the kind of
Basically,
source.
Bubo described water coming into the cave, right? That
Mhm.
was not polluted.
Correct.
This thing sits in there, it pollutes it, and then it leaves polluted.
Correct.
It's an anti-water filter.
And
Yeah.
yes, clearly I appreciate this is coming from the guy that was just enslaved by the thing, and that you all have very good reason to be suspicious of me. But I'm just saying, we don't actually need to kill it, we just need to get it to leave. One way to get something to leave is to reason with it. Another way to get something to leave is to make it really uncomfortable. Another way is to kill it. Can we be open to other options once we are in the cave? Is all I am asking to this group. Can we
Bubo
take
goes. Bubo goes over to Elric, and he says to him, "Elric, I have to say that hearing this monster's voice in my head, I don't think I trust myself in there. If I lose control again, I don't think that I can trust him myself, and I don't know exactly what I would do if I was in there. And then he looks back to the party, and he there's a look of shame on his face, and he whispers something in Elric's ear. He just whispers something in Elric's ear.
Dad, again, oblivious to sort of all the inter-party. I mean, from just a strategic point of view, if we can make it leave, that would be the best way, but we can't take it back home with us, Harold.
Might
That is
I
the one thing
cook
that
some?
we feel that
Might I
takes
cook
back
some
home.
lunch while we've stopped here? Could I maybe make a fire and cook some lunch for us all, masters?
We're about to go kill a monster. Don't act like we're gonna be here all day, okay?
Of course, I'm just
Eric
not.
walks up to Harold and leans down, gets on one knee, pulls out his hammer, hands it to Harold, handle first. Hit me.
No.
Hit me.
Is this some kind of test? Hit me.
I would gladly hit the large one.
Okay. So I just hit Harold with non-lethal damage.
Okay,
Do you
take
need me to
one.
roll?
No, take 1 point of bludgeoning damage unless Harold tries to avoid it.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harold, take 1 point bludgeoning.
No.
Yes,
Now hit
a
me.
hand like twice the size of Harold's face. Just winds back.
Can I grab his hand?
I learned my lesson.
Oh,
with
what
the
do you,
cat. I didn't-
Luna? What do you
I
do,
didn't-
Luna? Sorry, Luna does something.
I'd like to grab his hand before he
Oh.
strikes the other man.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And I'd like to very sincerely ask you all, how is infighting helping our decision at this moment?
Because if we get hurt, it stops it from controlling our minds.
Thank you for the clarification. I let go of his hand and say, smack him.
So a little bit of a damage, and then I go to Thad, and I say, "Hit me with the hammer." I hold it out. Hit me.
I don't see why we must do large amounts of damage in this situation. Would only a slap not do the trick?
Dad takes the hammer and holds it up and goes, "We can do this in the middle of combat. Let's go see if we can scare some bats. Can I go scare some bats?"
No, I'm the most hardy person in this party. In this
Can-
party.
Can you shoot?
I am the one that can take the most damage out of any of us. I have a breath weapon. I can do just as much damage to just as big of an area. You stay here.
At 120 feet, I can hit them in pew. You don't. Your mouth. I've seen your mouth, man. Your mouth is so cool. Like it's great, but
You wouldn't stand a chance if those things come alive and they start to attack you. You'll be dead before you can make it to the edge. At least I have a chance.
I trust you. Trust me. I've died before. He turns over to Legion. Tell him I've died before. I'm good. I'm good. You know. Let's just go to the edge. Thad slowly hands the hammer back and like starts backing towards the cave and is like, "Can I get that pass without a trace?"
It only is 30 feet within range of her, though, right? So it has to be within 30 feet of the caster.
The first bat is probably within 120 feet. No.
Yeah, can I just shoot how deep is that tunnel? Can I just shoot a fireball like in through the entrance? Can I blind fire this? How deep is that tunnel?
It's 120 feet before it opens up.
Is there any creatures in that 120 feet?
There wouldn't be any creatures that I saw within 120 feet. He would have to come in, I would think, maybe somewhere along the lines of 80 or 90 feet if he wishes to blind fire as he wishes to do. I don't think that it would be...
in a way that would not sound mechanical, Thad would point out that he has a 50 feet movement range right now, where on a dash, that would be 100 feet of movement. I could get back
Difficult terrain. Difficult terrain, by the way.
I mean, I could get halfway through the tunnel.
And I could help you. I could hold on to your. I could hold on to your.
I've just got to start a small fire here, and I have some sausages I brought. I figure, if we are going to be deciding what we want to do.
A little jet of flame is at one of my fingers, and I pointed at the cute dog.
I'm not. Is this
okay.
to help me
I'm
light the
sorry,
fire, or
Okay, I'm sorry. One
right,
second.
of course,
okay?
yes, sir.
I feel like everybody's second guessing the thing. I understand. It's very scary. I'm scared. Everybody's scared. But ultimately, we are going to fight this thing. No, we are going to be fighting this thing. So let's go.
We can ask it to leave. You owlin.
Harold,
I think we must enter the cave to ask it to leave, no?
I'm sorry, with all due respect, I have no idea what your train of thought actually means to me. There is no way that this thing has any desire. We have nothing to offer it to say, do what we want you to do.
I have a
There's
quick question.
nothing we can offer.
I have a quick question. Where's the cat in the bag?
In the two
Hanging
bags.
from the tree.
Yeah, did you leave it at or Arlie has it?
Arlie has it.
Okay.
She's been
out
the
of-
one that's been.
From inside the bag, you hear the cat say, "You have thumbs. You have thumbs. You asked what I needed. It's thumbs. I need. None of the animals here have hands. The ritual to get back to the material world requires hands. That's what you have. I don't have them. These animals don't have them. I need your hands to cast the ritual."
Thad goes to the bag and just goes, "We can't take you back with us." Then looks at the group, does a whisper wink, and then slowly backs into the darkness of the cave and mouths,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just I just need hands. That's all. Even one set is enough.
wait, no, Thad stops and goes,
The cat in the bag, Laura, is somehow connected to the beastie in there. We're assuming that the cat is somehow the eyes and ears of the who's possessed, by the aboleth. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep talking to the cat. keep it talking. Yeah.
And
It's just
I start to
Yeah.
I'm slowly I am like very
you're
very
stealthing, so you're gonna stealth towards. Okay, so give me a stealth roll.
I still think we should pass without trace with this. I think this is like, just let's do it. Let's go. Let's go in. Even coming in, pass without trace, leaving without pass without trace. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I just look at the whole group and I say, have we made a decision to enter? And if so, I will pass without trace. Let's go inside. And if we are
let's
not
do
going
it.
inside, we must choose to go somewhere else and not the entrance of this evil dark cave.
Yes, please. Let's go to kill this. I'm sorry. I'm afraid, but there is no courage without fear. I'm afraid, but we must do this. Let's go. Let's do it.
see me.
I
I'm
cast
going
pass
into the
without
cave.
trace and I start
Yeah.
to walk into the cave.
Yeah,
There
all
you
right.
go.
Amazing.
You either stay in the 30 feet of me or you don't, but I am walking in.
Very good. I like this woman.
I have a 20
Robot.
plus 10, and I'm in front.
So you have 30 with the pass without trace. Okay, amazing.
No, 20 with pass without trace.
20 with
20,
pass
that's
without trace. Okay, I'm gonna give 30 feet of a little purpley color here, just to like represent our pass without trace. I'm going to activate everyone. So everyone is cool. Everyone should
got-
be activated.
I have a
And
39. Pass without trace.
I got a 31.
Amazing. And let me roll my little.
Oh. Who was that?
Elric,
Did Elric just roll a nat
20 Nat 20.
stealth? Oh my
against
goodness.
all possible odds.
Amazing.
Do we see Harold and Arlie at the mouth of the cave? Are they staying back? Or are you going
No.
with?
You come.
Hey, Harold, do you think you could turn the private dice off so we can see your rolls?
Sure. I had it on last time when I was possessed.
Yeah, that's it. I get you.
Amazing. So that purpley color you see. Also, thank you, Amekuma, for this wonderful map. The wonderful purple color you see, that is the pass without trace color. Like that's just to like, so that it's easy for us to know what the range on it is. So that's a 13 for Juniper on her stealth. But that purple is not light. It is just the spell effect is what we're going with here. So as you come into the space, you're all sneaking around. You into the back doors of your mind. You all hear in a tongue that you cannot discern, but sounds or feels like your native tongue that you were born with. So you've decided to come. And you've decided to come as enemies.
That hasn't been decided.
A new voice. What did you roll on your stealth saloon? That was a 21?
Yeah, so 31.
Right, so a 31. Okay, yeah, you hear the voice. New voice. What is this one? Did you respond? You responded to it, right? When it said, you said not as enemies. Is that correct?
I said that it hasn't been decided.
That was a response telepathy, like a telepathic response?
Yes, but out of a not in-game moment here, I do not
Okay.
know. If I respond to this thing, do I give it access to me?
Have
Have I just opened myself up?
It's not. You don't. It's not. It's not.
We don't know that.
You don't know the specific rules, but the question is, did you respond telepathically to it? You can say no.
Say no.
Okay, no.
I mean, I didn't respond to it on purpose. This thing, I have no idea what the you know what I mean? I'm just gonna, like, in terms of table talk, I have no idea whether or not it allows access to your mind, but it's possessed us in ways that are so simple and very easy that even, like, you know, like thinking about it feels like it lets it into your mind, you know?
And in fact, the very first time that we were taken over, we didn't even know it existed. It took
Yeah,
us over
exactly.
before we knew it was there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it knows we're there, whether or not we acknowledge it or not.
Yeah.
May I ask a question? With our stealth the way that it is, does it know
No.
where we are, or it can just sense our minds?
Again, we don't know this. It'll probably be
Okay.
that like, you know, like it may not be able to know our physical location if our stealth is there, but if it's doing a telepathic attack, and if it can feel our minds, then maybe it can just feel our minds regardless of whether or not we know it knows where we are physically.
I would say Saloon, Saluna, you can give me a Arcana check to try to kind of remember or understand the nature of telepathic connections.
Well, also, Saluna, there's a very specific connection between this thing and the gods. So there's history between these two, between this species and the gods. So you might also want to roll whatever that is.
If you want to, that'd be a
Believe us-
history check. Okay, so with a 13, what I can tell you, Saluna, is that strong beings with telepathic sensitivity and the capacity to speak directly into a mind that might not be otherwise receptive to telepathic communication, there is a kind of way, there is a certain sense for those powerful psychic minds to be able to know what is within the range of their communication, but that isn't the same as knowing physically where those minds are in space.
Okay. So it's like connecting to us mentally, but not understanding our physical locations currently.
Yeah, like it knows that you're within its perimeter of what it can reach, like the voice, its psychic voice. You're within the range of its psychic voice, but it doesn't necessarily know precisely where you are.
Okay.
Your tokens have your vision. So I think there's only one character among the party who has dark sight, dark vision, which would be Bubo. So Bubo is able to see a lot more than the rest of you. But you can happily ask around like what sort of stuff you understand. Oh, sorry, my bad. That's my bad. I didn't activate it. Welcome to the Dragon's
nightmare.
Pool.
Spool.
These rocks are difficult terrain, so every 5 feet costs 10 feet of movement. And the purple glow is not illumination. The purple glow is the extent of the Pass Without a Trace. So Luna, you've cast Pass Without Trace twice now, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Just tracking that. Awesome.
We're in front of a big pool then? Right? In front of a big pool? Water?
Yeah.
Which way are we going?
You see little Squeaknar. Let's see, is this working? I thought. Sorry, are you asking me?
Bubo.
There. Little Squeak Noir lights his candle, and that's the extent of his candle, and he starts like walking.
Bubo immediately casts the cantrip to extinguish the flame. He just extinguishes it right immediately.
Okay, it goes out.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Harold, I'm at the edge of the pool right now.
Fucking NPC blowing our fucking.
No,
are you kidding me?
you're on rocks right now.
Okay, because the thing is with the map right now, I can't actually discern rock from pool. I can't see anything. So if that's the effect you're going for, cool.
The effect I'm going for is that you can see what you can see. If you want to give yourself a capacity to see more, then you'd have to light a torch or something, or
Okay.
Yeah.
Harold,
But
Harold, stay.
I will tell you if you fall in the water or if you're at the edge.
Bubo, guide me
Yeah.
to the edge of the water, please.
Okay. In Thieves' Cant, I'm just gonna do it in a way that just like hopefully I can just kind of like do it with like hand signals in your hand, like sign language, making absolutely no noise. I lead you. I lead you to the edge of the water there. Can you see me at all?
I can see your character, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So just you can go either to the left or the right of me. You'll be on the edge of the water.
Okay. Koi,
Mhm.
I can't see you, Bubo.
I'm there.
Okay. I go into my bag
Mhm.
and I get some of the provisions that we have,
Mhm.
preferably like sausages, something meaty,
Okay.
and I just toss it into the water.
Amazing. You toss it into the water, and within maybe a full 2 breaths, no more than a full 2 breaths, you see the water begin to roil as something underwater. Like, you can give me a perception check or a nature check, your choice, to identify what
I'll
you're
do
looking
the
at.
same since I'm
In
on the
that-
edge of the water.
Yeah.
In that moment, Koi,
Mhm. Yeah.
I shape a 5x5 cube of water around the disturbance into ice.
Fuck yeah. Well played, sir. I'm gonna ask that you select the square here for me
Well, it would be the one that I put the
that you
sausage
threw the sausages into. Okay, so you do it with water. You are able to. This is well played, sir. The you've fill the 5 foot square thing with ice, and it kind of like rises slightly as the ice floats. You see within it the bodies and heads of these like very aggressive looking fish with sharp teeth. Bubo, that was a. Did you roll for? If you want to roll to try to identify with a
Yeah,
nature check
I'll
what these
do.
animals are.
It sucks that my nature is so bad, but I'll try a nature check just for kicks. Yeah, I don't have a good nature check.
With a
I'm gonna-
6, these are carnivorous fish.
Yeah, carnivorous fish. I kind of could have figured that with a sausage and a fish head. Cool. So Bubo.
But
Comes
well
back
done.
to-
So these are frozen.
Harold, wait, Bubo. Harold wanted to have a second with you. Do you leave?
Okay. Yeah.
Harold in Thieves' Cant and Finger Signs.
Yeah,
asks
finger
you to
signs.
repeat, like, you can be like, he's using Thieves' Cant sign language, right?
Yeah,
Kinda how it
yeah,
works.
sure. No, I'm joking.
Okay,
Finger
sorry.
signs sounded lewd a little bit.
Yeah, I could have just called it sign language. Just it tells you to throw the sausages from your pack in. It indicates that he'll do the same thing again.
Okay, sure. So Bubo, kind of like floats. You know what? He actually gives you, dude, because it's going to be very difficult to. I say with my thing. It's going to be very difficult for me to throw where you cast where I threw because you won't be able to see.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you my food. So I give you 2 things of rations.
Okay, I do it again.
Okay, so with so you throw another sausage in, like say here.
Yeah.
You know what?
Sure.
I mean, can I guide him?
What do you mean by guide?
Like throw it here. I tell him to throw it here.
I mean, Harold should have enough of a. I mean, Harold can't see where you're pointing. Is the problem? Like, Harold can't see
Sure.
more than like 5 feet in front of his face right now, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so Bubo picks up Harold and flies 20 feet up in the air. Right there. And tells him to drop it right underneath us and do the same thing.
Okay.
Harold swallows his pride and will have a word with Bubo.
Yeah.
But when he is to be carried around
I
like
know.
a small
Fair enough.
ball,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
and drops the sausage.
Amazing. You see the churn. Bubo was the only person. Harold, you hear like the water distorting as there is this like frenzy towards. Now I have a cat in front of my screen, so you have to excuse me. 3 screens, and the cat stands on the one I need. As they come, as this swarm comes towards the dropped sausage, the water stills.
Okay, Bubo comes back with Harold. Says, "I'm sorry I picked you up without asking. I realize you're. I mean, I'm sorry, Harold. Did you want to still cast the spell?
No, because they figured it out. The Aboleth is probably controlling their minds.
Fair enough. Okay, Bubo goes over to says, Harold, wait right here. I'll be right back. He comes over to where's Thad? Which one's Thad? Is this
I'm
Thad?
over there. I have like once I've gingerly tried to get the ice block onto the rocks. I have
It's
done
a
that.
5x5 cube of ice
Yeah.
that weighs
Right.
more than a
Yeah,
metric ton.
it's pretty.
It's gonna be
pretty
pretty
And
heavy.
they're looking at it. I'm like trying to peer into the darkness, and I do whisper to somebody like, "Which somebody point like down me, orient me to where I should start casting fireball."
That's it. Fair enough. So is this you here?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Bubo kind of directs you to being right 1 square up. Yeah. And then he holds your hand and he draws a line. This is what he does. He goes, I think,
Oh,
that you
lucky,
should
lucky. Arlie
You
rolls a
should shoot.
24 saving throw on her wisdom.
you should shoot like this. This is what you should do.
All right, I let him, I go loose, I let him guide me in the direction, and then holding on to the direction.
Is it sexy? Is it
Like,
sexy though when we do it? Is it kind of sexy?
Yeah, like, I mean, I can't see in the dark, so like, if it's sexy, I am
Does it
unaware
feel
of
good?
it.
Does it feel good?
Be. Well,
That's all I'm saying. Does it feel good?
I don't think we evolved on this planet. Nonetheless, having a lot of the same circuitry, I think that there's a deep part of that that's uncomfortable with like your predator-like talons. Like, there's
Yeah, fair enough.
whatever part of my brain is like, ooh, I'm prey, aren't I?
Yeah.
But you orient me, and I take like a deep breath in the silence, and I'm just going to cast fireball into that circle of rocks.
In the moment before this happens, Harold very gently puts his hand across Arlie's eyes and closes his own.
Okay. So I'm going to say we will cast the fireball and roll for initiative. But you will get
and
that.
Bubo also will
you
close
will
his eyes.
get
Actually,
that.
that's a good call.
Get that casting.
As soon as he sees.
So
I
fireball.
wanted to talk to some fish, but I didn't really get a chance because.
Yeah, let's do
Can I
that
talk to the fish
before.
we
Let's
do
do it.
initiative?
Yeah, let's
Right,
do
yeah.
let's do fish before we
Okay, that's
resolve.
Yeah.
Let's
Fair
definitely do that.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I was like, I'm gonna wait patiently until I can say I want to talk to the fish. Yeah, so I'd like to assume that these guys are animals and speak with some animals. And
Yeah.
I would like to, see how that goes.
So casting like speak with animals, it's like a level 1, so it should be free. Cool. And gonna go to these carnivorous fish that are like kind of trapped in this ice block, and try to talk
Am I
to
talking
one
to the
that.
frozen fish? I can speak to the frozen one.
I mean,
I was just gonna like walk over to the edge of the water and like go close to the surface and just whisper and see if there is anybody in there. Hello, little fish. I have some questions for you.
Okay, you're gonna go to the edge of this water and whisper to the fish.
Not too close though. Not too close. Let's not go crazy. I keep a safe distance from the surface, but I'm whispering to the fish.
Fly casual. Fly casual.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a perception check here, and this is gonna be with disadvantage because they're underwater. There is no response. Whispering above the surface of the water to trying to get attention from something under the water. Nothing hears you. Now the fish that are in the block, like the fish in the block, are not dead. Like the water around them has been frozen, so they are still fully alive. They might not last too long. They're getting cold, but these are very much like alive. They've just been trapped in cold water.
Okay, I'll speak to the ice cube then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you find like one. There's a lot. Like this is a swarm of fish, mechanically speaking. So that is like a bunch of tiny creatures that fill a 5-foot square or cube in this case. You're able to find one that has that is not entirely embedded, like has its face more out.
I mean, technically, this lasts for 10 minutes. So you'll be able to speak with animals the whole time. Who knows where it might be able to help you. It's not a concentration. It's just a straight up 10-minute duration. So you can still have fun with that.
There's bats and snakes and fish in here currently.
There's so many animals.
There's so many bugs and creatures in here, little beetles. Okay, well, I would like to specifically ask these friendly little fish that don't seem so friendly, but I'm gonna pretend they're my friends. I'm gonna treat them like they're my friends.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, hello, sweet little fishes. Would you be so kind as to tell me how deep this well goes and how big the creature within is?
Yeah, roll me a persuasion check.
Okay.
It's a great idea.
You want to persuade?
Ooh, nice. 19.
19. Amazing. Yeah, the fish with its like large underbite of big teeth. It's a big pool. It's a very, very deep. I don't know if I've seen the bottom.
Okay.
Are there passages or underground tunnels that lead into this big pool and out of this big pool beneath the surface?
The home pool is just a big pool. Just a big old pool.
Big old pool. And is there a big, scary creature inside of your home pool?
Yeah, I'm big and scary. I'm big, scary to pool. You're talking to a creature with 1 intelligence, by the way.
Yes, you're such a big, scary monster.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's so big and scary. Very, very big and scary.
Is there
I want to eat you.
Bigger? Oh, okay. Maybe I'll let you have a nibble when we're done.
Oh, I want to eat you. Give me a nibble. I want to.
Totally. Is there a big monster? Like big?
Me and my brother's a bit bigger than me.
Okay, well, you're just such a sweet little guy. If I let you out of this ice cube that's going to kill you, would you help me out by sending all you and your big, scary brothers to go nibble on that big, scary guy in your pool?
Oh, yeah, we'll nibble so good. Just let us out and I'll give you a big old nibble.
Not me, no. We're friends, right?
Yeah, I eat my friends.
Okay, you're gonna stay in the ice cube, my sweet little fish. Thank you so much for your help. That this is just one big deep pool with no ins and outs.
Can I just
Great
get
to
a
know.
nibble? Just a little nibble. I just want a nibble.
Maybe when we're done killing everything in here, or not killing everything in here, I'll let you clean up the scraps. How does that sound, little buddy?
Nom, 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 nom,
No, okay. I'll leave the ice cube. We can go. Thanks for trying.
Amazing. Yeah. Thad, cast the
Thank
fireball.
thank you so much for prompting that. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Very good.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well played.
Dad looks over and is just like, "You're such a good person," and then the fireball rips
Boom.
from his hand into the night. Or the cave,
Amazing.
as it-
So Thad, explain to me the mechanics of fireball for the purpose of what we're doing here.
It will. I can cast it within a range of 120 feet. It creates a 20-foot radius sphere centered at a point.
Okay.
And everything within that sphere must take a dexterity saving throw. A target takes 8d6 fire damage on a failed save.
Okay. So we're just going to go 120 feet away from you is the idea here?
No, so
Okay.
I've been pointed. I've been by somebody with dark vision. My arm has been put in. I think that it's to make like a 20-foot sphere somewhere within like there. So I like those three
Okay.
rocks.
Okay,
Right?
so here's the thing. So this is the kind of important thing is like I didn't know how fireball works or whatever, so
Mhm.
I thought it was just kind of like a rolling fireball as opposed to like something
Okay.
that flies through the air, as
Mm.
opposed to something that just ignites at a point. So basically, Bubo asks, "Do you want to set fire to the big guy or set fire to a bunch of little guys?"
Oh, we were trying to draw them. Right? That's the plan. It's whatever you guys think is more useful. I think let's knock out as many of the little guys as possible. Big boom. Big boom.
I don't know. Is this better? Is that better? What do you think? Do you think he should hit the big guy, or he should hit the little guys? There's a part of me that says the little guys will be able to take them, even if there's a lot of them. But the big guy, I mean, maybe they're all controlled by him, and killing him would be better.
I fear that casting fireball in this dark space would reveal your physical location to the aboleth. And I have a sneaking suspicion, and I don't know why, that your physical location, the knowledge of it, is what perhaps might open you up to some mind control. So casting fireball will definitely put a big beacon on your head of your whereabouts, and probably our whereabouts, because you're lighting up the whole room. Take with that information what you will, but I think that's in a frenzy, and an aboleth with some damage.
In the blackness, out of the blackness, you hear the fluttering of small wings descending on you. So I'm going to say that you have one last opportunity to act before we engage in.
Boy, I want to listen. I want
Yeah.
just somebody, Bubo, point me now at the largest group of things that you can see. Fuck the aboleth in the water. Just point my arm to, like, I'm shooting a fireball, I think, like, here, into these rocks.
20-foot radius. Okay, let me just be clear here. I want to see what a 20-foot radius looks like, and
I'm going to say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Can you guys not see the thing that I just painted?
5,
That's 20 feet.
4,
That's 28.
yeah,
Three,
move it over one block and then do
2,
it.
Right there. There.
Fire.
Casting.
Fire, roll for initiative, roll damage.
Well, no, I fired it.
Yeah. So fire it. That's going to be your action that launches combat. So we're all going to roll for initiative and then roll damage on that spell.
So that's going to be 60. 8d6.
A lot of damage. Fireball.
Hmm.
I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast fireball.
Yeah.
It's my
Did I
first time.
stutter?
34 damage.
Whew.
34 damage.
Yeah, they gotta beat a spell save DC 15. If they miss, it's a half.
Oh, it's a dex save?
Yep.
Okay. DC. Okay, that one succeeded. So, it's 34 or half damage if they succeed, which is 17.
Yep.
Okay. That's one.
Oof.
And
Yeah, keep moving.
then I am going to say, before we actually start our first turn, we are going to take a little break. So I've resolved the damage on that fireball. I am going to just briefly light up that fireball. Lights up a little spot. You see 3 like roiling swarms of poisonous snakes that light up and like fall into the water to put themselves out as that fireball explodes and then goes into blackness. And with that, you hear a shrieking in your minds, fluttering of wings in the blackness, and churning of dark waters. And with that, we're going to take a little bit of a break so that we can come back with some energy and attack our combat. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to transition us back into our little trailers. probably try. We're back.
Oh,
We were
yeah?
just asking
Okay.
if it's true. We were just asking if the carnivorous fish would actually want to eat a warforged. And it's a very good question. I think my improv was lacking in that. The fish might not have smelled the blood because there is no blood in you. So it might not have. It might have confused it. In terms of justifying my poor improv, I'll say that like usually things that speak and act are things it can eat on and nibble on. So
Fish
what?
see human form. Yum.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Yeah, Vicavar, Vicavar in the chat's like, well, that wasn't very bright. Yeah, it's a dumb fish. You dumb fish. Amazing. So I want to jump back into combat. We are at the top of combat with. This is going to be a big one, guys. We are in total blackness. The only one who can see anything is Bubo in our party. I'm going to try to keep clicking on the people with dark vision, dark sight, so that our audience can see what's going on at least. But our players are having trouble. We are going to start at the top of round 1. Wild that this is actually how it worked out, but Thad just cast a fireball and he gets to go first.
Just is there any smoldering fire from the giant 20-foot fireball that just ignited on those rocks?
I mean, it's stone and it's water, so I'm not like this is like it's almost like a gasoline fire, right? Like there's nothing to burn after the fire extinguishes,
well, the
unless
the things that the beasts themselves is what I'm kind of talking about. They're no, I guess they did.
Water while they were on fire.
there was some of the snakes in these like roiling masses burned up a little bit, but I would say they charred more than like created a light source. Unless the spell does say something about that.
Yeah, no,
case...
I don't think they have lingering fire damage, so I guess if they did, that would mean they are on fire. Sorry, go Thad. Sorry to interrupt. Go for it.
So for my first thing that I do is as that goes, Bubo again, hoping like as it's a question and hoping that Bubo intuits that what that means is that I would ready another fireball and have him point me at it at the thing. So that's I'm going to do that, but before I start to ready the spell as a bonus action, you guys start to hear Thad sort of like hum a tune and sort of keep like a magical sort of it's a Nordmarian dirge that he's singing this time.
Hell
and Bubo, you're probably only one can see it, but I start to sort of like sway in time with the rhythm a little bit, and I'm going to start a blade song. And then I ready fireball for the action that I said, and I'm going to point it at wherever Bubo directs.
Cool. So we'll say that you release your fireball with Bubo's free action of just at his turn to point. But it won't cast anything. Amazing. And you start and you cast your blade song. Is anything else that you're going to do?
No, that will be my turn.
Cool. All right. Next we have our fishies. Fishies. Fishy. Making sure I get all my fishies. Do I have all my fishies?
I know. It's horrible.
Okay. And next is our snakes. And they're going to...
First the snakes, then the lattes?
First the snakes, then the lattes go.
You guys don't have snakes and lattes, do you? It's like a board game room. It's a board game place here in Toronto where you can go and like drink and eat. It's called Snakes and Lattes.
Rent out table space and then take like their free board games or bring whatever table. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Vancouver used to have a lot of places like that, but they've all shut down. It like
Really?
didn't do very well.
Oh
There's
no.
a couple, but they don't
Um,
last long, unfortunately.
There's a
okay.
small. Yeah. No.
I am going to. It is perception. Lucky. Anyone? I'm going to ask everyone to roll a strength saving throw as the water from the pool begins to surge outwards in a grasping tide. This is a.
Oh, no.
Oh,
This is going to be anyone who's standing, or actually who's within 20 feet of the water.
isn't that all
Water
of it?
is okay, so I'm not. Arlie, I guess, is
The water is. I'm not sure if you can even see what I'm drawing.
I can see it.
Yeah. It is a DC 14. So anyone who fails this saving throw is going to be pulled 20 feet into the water.
Oh
Question
no.
about that.
Harley.
And so, yeah.
I made a medal in a pool that has no bottom that we know of, and I just got pulled 20 feet in. Do I just down at the bottom?
You will be you will naturally sink, but I'm not gonna but your negative buoyancy does not prevent you from swimming up, so it doesn't like take away your capacity to use your movement to swim up. You can maintain your buoyancy if you want. That's going to be a free action. There's nothing that I found in the rules that say like Warforged aren't able to swim up or anything. But yeah, thank you for asking. But so this is the pools of water within 90 feet surge in a grasping tide. Any creature on the ground within 20 feet of a pool must succeed DC 14 strength saving throw or be pulled 20 feet into the water and knocked prone. So who was that? That was Arlie?
Arlie.
She's
Is
not
it-
within 20 feet. of
But
the
she's
water.
not within 20 feet of the water?
Yeah.
Amazing. So it would be
I'm not either. I think
She's
Arlie's
just kind
back
of prone on the edge.
haven't moved at all since we entered the cave.
yeah, I think this is 20 feet from what I'm looking at here. That's 20 towards from Arlie to the water there. So that means she's going to get pulled
Just on the
here,
edge.
just on the edge there, just like pulled like kind of onto the edge of the water and is officially prone. Amazing. And that was our lair action.
That is fireball ready.
Yeah, fireballs. The
Flashes against him and just
and
like
you-
he just holds it. Like
hold. Amazing. And you're able to hold. That is absolutely awesome. We're going to have.
And then you're blade singing, so you're singing some like
Yeah.
fire song, like fire. Boom, 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 ba-ding, boom, boom, ba-ding. I don't know what the
Okay.
blade song is.
Now we're in the dark. In the dark, it's a little bit of a foreboding. But it's not a bard, so I just want to say when I do cast a spell, it's more like a spoken word track over it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Gonna slice stuff up. Gonna cut it bad. Bubo, you see everyone can hear a disturbance in the water just to the west there. Bubo, you see a second head rise up out of the water. You know, like there's the first one that was in the middle of that pool watching. A second one now rises, and that is. And you hear in your mind, you have chosen death, and all I needed was your thumbs. Bubo, your turn.
Bubo, he says, There are two of them, and so he tells Thaddeus to shoot at the original one. So here, this is where Thaddeus, he says to shoot.
I let it rip right into there, so somebody who can see, just make your 20-foot thing, and I'll roll the dice, but I'll that has to be within 120 feet.
Yeah.
This is 20-foot radius right there. And it's a 20-foot sphere, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Cool. Give me a damage roll on that.
Yep. D6. 28.
28. Hell yeah. And your D... 15.
Nice.
That failed, but it's underwater. The next one fails, but it's underwater. As the flame subsides, the aboleth creature that was sitting there just below the surface is gone.
Okay, that's good. I like it. That's fine by me. Bubo, he does a little holy shit because the aboleth is here. He says they're off too, and then after the fireball extinguishes, I mean, I would imagine once the fireball goes off, like everybody can see this aboleth right here for a second.
Yeah. Right? So when the fireball goes off, there's like a brief moment of light.
Oh no, that's much closer than I thought it was.
And then it's gone.
Yeah.
Fun.
Okay. Bubo.
Oh, the light is now lasting, eh?
Bubo casts Hunter's Mark as a cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
Centered on this guy, on the aboleth here.
Okay.
He is going to make a... Oh, I like it. I like how you put my glamored studded. So I am going to shoot my first shot, just a regular non-sharpshooting longbow.
Okay.
Oh, come on, man. Did that do it? No, it didn't do it. Oh.
I see a 28.
Yeah, attack 28 is the I rolled a 19. So the damage is 5, I guess. Yeah, so I guess the damage, I'm not seeing how that... Oh, I rolled a 1 plus 4. Okay, all right, that's cool. So that first attack.
Nice. Yeah, the first arrow like hits it, and you see it like sliver, like a kind of shiver through this soft. It's like a scaleless fish. It's kind of like the skin, and it shivers as the arrow impacts into its skin.
And does not disappear.
Does not disappear.
Holy shit balls. Okay. All right. So here we go. I feel like I should have just done with sharpshooter right off the bat, but I've got 2 more attacks, so I'm gonna just do that again. Sharpshooter longbow. Sacrament, dude.
Oh yeah, plus Hunter's Mark. Our chat is reminding us you have Hunter's Mark on that first attack.
Oh right, it's an extra D4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he takes another 4 damage.
Amazing.
Okay. So is this, if I choose him and I do the sharpshooter, is that an attack? Okay, that was a miss.
Bubo, give me an intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Actually, everyone needs to give me this. Sorry.
So that's a 7. So I do not save. What happens to me? Oh, man.
Nothing.
Intelligence?
Yes.
Nice. No modifiers, huh?
Okay, so everyone who rolled over a 16, the creature that Bubo is firing at is not real.
Oh.
Oh no.
This is a phantasmal force. Bubo's actually firing at nothing. You don't even see it. Bubo
but
sees
he
it. None of you see it.
But he thinks that it's that the arrow connected.
Yeah, he thinks the arrow connected. It's fully like sound, temperature, every other stimuli is evident to him as if it's real. For you, it is. He's firing at nothing. Anyone who succeeded that DC 16.
Is it just you and I that succeeded? It looks like, yeah. Okay.
The
I mean,
two
we
of
don't
us.
know.
Sure.
Yeah.
A
if
saloon,
you're
yes.
in the dark,
So Saloon got
if you're in the
Saloon
dark,
A,
you can't see
Thad,
anything.
and 18. So basically, Bubo is, because you can't see anything, you just know Bubo's firing into the water, but you don't like know what he's firing at. You have no idea.
Can I
Bubo-
tell him that all I hear is arrows hitting water?
Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah. But
Okay,
Bubo
I would
Bubo
like to.
sees
Well-
this. So the target affected by the spell treats the phantasm as if it real. The target rationalizes any illogical outcomes from interacting with the phantasm.
Okay, so it's
So
fine.
I can
I've,
So I can explain it, but it doesn't mean anything to him, is what you're saying.
He-
Lindsay,
No,
you
no,
really
no.
thought you finally had it.
yeah, sure. I mean,
Pulled her
no,
right
I mean,
out of your head.
well, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm hitting it,
You do,
but it
yeah.
doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that if you tell me that I'm hitting nothing, like it's an imaginary force that I'm not impervious to that. I just will not stop shooting it until somebody tells me to stop shooting it. You know what I mean? I think that's the difference. It's not like I'm possessed.
No, you're
I'm
not
just
possessed.
tricked.
You're not
I'm
possessed.
fully
Just
tricked.
according to all of your senses, it's real.
Yeah, it feels real. It feels
Yeah,
super real.
fully
So
real. Yeah.
I have to resolve the rest of my
Yeah.
my turn, shooting it, no matter
Yeah.
what anybody says.
Unlike the
Okay,
other
so I'm
illusion, which
gonna-
disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go up 40 feet. That's 20 feet up into the air.
Also, our
And
chat
then
is
I'm
saying,
gonna
"Why
go-
would Booba believe them? They can't see in the dark." Our chat, Vicavar says in the chat.
Oh, that's fair. You know what? There's no way that like they hear it going into the water, but they're not seeing it actually.
Yeah,
not
you're
hit
seeing
the
is
thing.
believing. Yeah, seeing is believing.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So I've moved, and
Amazing.
and I've done my hunter's mark. Did a great job. I feel like
Sick.
I'm
Yeah, you're
seeing
doing great. Yeah, you're.
This thing.
This is the first time you've seen an arrow pierce the flesh of this thing, right? You can keep firing you can keep firing at it if you want. But yeah, like you're firing because you normally
I've
fire
already finished
3
my
arrows.
turn. I wasted,
Yeah.
I wasted 3 arrows. Yeah.
Hell yeah,
So
3
I
arrows
missed
fired.
once and hit. Yeah.
2 solid
And I'm
hits.
I'm like, putain, good shot, oh, Bo, I am done it. It's the best. Dad, take that with your singing.
Yeah, amazing. You just hear out of the darkness, Bubo, like normally super quiet. If you can't see him, you can't hear him. And Bubo's just like, I did it. I'm so good.
Oh my god, I'm so good. Yeah, do it.
Arlie's turn. It is Juniper Arlie Candlewick the Third's turn. Who is going to be controlled by Harold, by Kenius Maximus.
Right. So Arlie is going to get up.
Nice. Yeah.
And
She is just in the water.
yeah, I'm looking
I
at
don't
her
know if-
spells right now.
Mhm.
Has she at any point?
I think, well, actually never, like, I think in the water, prone doesn't count. Prone must be on land. It doesn't make any
I was
sense.
just about to say, how does that
Yeah,
work?
it doesn't make
Whether
any
it's
sense.
prone
So
or
I'm just saying,
launch?
like, yeah, because normally prone would take half your movement, but I'll say that, like, you don't spend any movement. She wasn't prone, but she is in the water.
Okay. So what's her movement speed? Let me just check.
30.
30?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2.
That's so she has one. That's 20 points of movement because it's difficult terrain.
Yes.
By the way, the red in the map is the pass without trace effect. That's the distance of pass without trace. Now, for the sake of making it easier to view, I'm going to turn the lights on just because it's a bit easier to work and for our audience. But remember, we're all blind.
Got it. Yeah. At any point when those fireballs did off, did she get a read on where a pack of beasties might be?
So the fireball was in, I think it was this region.
It's dead center.
It was there. So you would see these roiling snakes that are like coming across the surface of the water is what you would have seen.
Okay.
Oh.
Broiling snakes.
Mechanically, just so that's like for our audience and for you guys, we're working with swarms.
Did you see where it was?
I mean, an attack in darkness is going to be a disadvantage no matter what.
Okay. Arlie's gonna cast Confusion. She's just gonna pick a point.
Okay. Yeah, what does confusion do?
So 10-foot radius.
Cool.
I'm going to drop it here. Am I pinging? No.
Cool. 10-foot radius. Yeah.
You see where I pinged?
Yeah, right there.
I can't see your pings right now, Doc.
Oh, do you
Yeah,
not see
there.
this?
This
Yeah,
square.
right. Yeah. So that's a
square.
10-foot radius
Yeah.
I've created. Yep.
Oh. I can't see your radius, but okay. I'm just centering it on this. I drew a circle in a
Okay.
square.
Okay. Yeah. No, I see it. Yeah. Yeah.
My
For some
circle
reason, it's
is
just
a
not.
10-foot
It's just not
radius
showing.
From there.
It's like.
For its sphere, so this target can take it.
There.
So I cast it. What do I roll as a caster? The worst.
Is it a spell casting attack? Does it say spell casting attack?
Says.
Or is it just they make a saving throw?
They make a saving throw.
Cool. So just a saving
and
throw.
Its saving is 14, I think.
Wisdom
16.
saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
She has a spell save DC of 16.
16. That's what I meant. 16. Of course, 16.
And what's the effect that it gives on them?
So, wisdom saving throw. If it fails, an affected target can't take reactions and must roll a d10 at the start of each of its turns to determine its behavior for that turn. I will
Cool.
copy paste the behavior into the chat.
Amazing.
Failures.
So one failure.
Okay. I can't. Here, I'll have to screenshot this because it's not letting me copy paste out of Foundry.
Looking for an icon for confused, but I'm just going to use the concentrating icon for confused. And then it'll be at the beginning of its turn. It's going to have to roll. Gotcha.
Roll a d10.
A D10.
On a 1, it uses all its movement to move in a random direction.
Cool.
The 2 to
Love
6,
it.
it doesn't move or take actions. On a 7 to 8, it makes a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach. I don't know how that affects swarms.
Yeah, we
I
have
would
yet to
assume
see
that
them
you
attack.
add Swarm as one of the random things within its reach. And on a 9 to 10, the creature can act and move normally.
Sick. Cool. Love it. So you're able to affect one of them. Anything else Arlie's going to do?
Did you take any kind of bonus movement? That's not something a cleric can do.
She doesn't. I mean, she has like healing spells as bonus actions. Healing
Okay,
word,
okay.
Shield of Faith. She has Shield of Faith. She also has Spiritual Weapon,
What does
which
Shield of
is
Faith do?
+2 AC to anyone, which is a concentration spell, and Spiritual Weapon is like adding, just like a floating weapon. She has normally it's like a floating quill that stabs at
Glow?
people. It's a good question. I don't think it glows. No.
She needs to summon the spiritual weapon with the bonus action, and then she can use it.
It's a floating spectral weapon that lasts for the duration, and it can move on its own. It has its own initiative, or it can. I'm just going to tie it to her initiative, but it can move up to 20 feet, and it can attack on its. It can attack as her bonus action, basically,
Okay. And she needs to spend a bonus action to summon it.
to summon it. Yeah,
Okay, so she'll spend the bonus action to summon it.
sick.
Great.
Okay, I'm going to.
No, because it's that would be the second level. Chat's right. You already
Yeah.
used it. No.
Oh,
Yeah,
you already used a spell.
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
spell.
Chat's
can't
on
spell.
it. Thank you, Vikavar.
Okay. Well,
Love
Sorry,
it.
You're not a spellcaster.
yeah. So, chat. I'm really sorry. I've only ever played a rogue. I
Does the
didn't
spellcaster? You can hand it off if you want. Do you want to hand this off?
You're a magical rogue. No excuses.
It's true. You are an arcane trickster. You're an arcane trickster rogue. J'accuse. Okay, that's Arlie's turn. Is that right? She's done her movement, her bonus action, everything. 10, 15.
Wait. I think we're missing Legion from the turn order.
Oh no, Legion. We didn't roll initiative for Legion.
I did. It was very low. I think I got like a 6. Maybe even a 4.
Okay. For some reason, it.
She's
I
up
just put
there
her.
right behind me.
I just put her in. So I'm gonna put her. You said 6, so I'm just gonna do that as 6 here. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So Legion moves last. Amazing. So that's some more swarms, and we're now at Herald. All right, Herald. Now it's Herald, not Arlie Herald.
Yeah. So
Arcane.
I am going to.
Tricky dick.
I am going to. Can I wait until Aelric goes?
You can hold an action. The way holding an action works is that you have to declare what action you want to do and what the trigger of that action would be. You can't change your position in initiative, though.
Okay. So the action that I'm going to hold is that I'm going to summon my mage hand.
Okay.
And Aelric takes out the glowing orb that we have.
Yep.
And push it out 30 feet into the space.
Cool. Sick. Cool. Awesome. Any movement or bonus actions?
I'm quite happy where I am, well away from the churning sea of angry, bitey guys.
Amazing.
I'm really fine not being anywhere near the water right now.
Okay, that means. These are. You hear the flapping of fleshy wings. Oh, Bubo, a swarm of bats surrounds you 40 feet in the air, and it is going to attack. That is an 8 to hit. So basically, these bats just like surround you and are just like whipping around you, but unable to make any to connect in any way that affects you. It's right on top of you though. So yeah, the way that swarms work is they have 0 reach. They have to be on the same square as you, and they attack in that manner. So they're like kind of all over you in the same space you occupy.
Okay.
I'm gonna have it just beside you, just in terms of like being able for you to access your token, because digital tokens, like once they're on top of each other, it gets weird. But that's going to be our bat swarm, bringing us to Elric. Oh, Squeak
So
Noir
as
never got
predicted-
initiative.
Huh?
Yeah, Elric. No,
Yeah.
go for it, Elric.
As predicted, I'm gonna pull out that orb with my offhand and call the max power light name. I still don't have that in my inventory for whatever reason. It still shows up as a PC in the PC things. Orb of light. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Show,
Oh,
whatever.
weird.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put. I'm hitting that maximum power.
Maximum globe. You take it out and turn it on.
Yeah.
Pow! Let there be light.
Dude, what's the range on that?
This item is properly made. So I made this item to be like effective the way that the item is. So anything that it is lit
Yeah,
up is fully lit up now.
Wow,
It's
super
massive.
great. I love it.
Yeah, at that at the maximum, it's really huge. And so the hand has it now.
Yeah. And you're moving that hand 30 feet, is it?
I'm gonna keep it just until I have a turn to at least its height. I'm worried about it being swallowed by the water, so I'm gonna put it basically directly above where Thad is.
Cool. So with your mage hand, you're able to move it over there.
Yeah,
I think it
that's
also
about-
has its
about
own.
feet up.
Do you want it to be like 10 feet off the ground as well? Cool.
But I need more time to increase its altitude.
That's a lot of things.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, now you have like proper vision, eh? Now you've pulled out your globe. Anything you want to do with bonus action or movement, Elric?
So, curious, is this Avalith token on the board, or is that what I saved for back in the day?
You saved. You
Yeah.
know it's
This
not there.
you save for. So this is just nothing. You just don't see anything.
This is nothing. That's what I thought. And do I see Luna and Arlie?
You should see everyone, I think. Yeah? Where is Arlie's here, right?
Yeah.
Arlie's there and Luna's here.
And what's this here?
This is a swarm of bats that is 40 feet off the ground, like on top of
It's like
Bubo.
on me. Yeah. It's on
Okay.
me.
And
I'm going to
what's
make it
here?
a little smaller here.
Oh, all of those are swarms of bats, or no?
So these are all swarms of bats. What else were you looking at?
No, I'm just trying to get a bearing here. So, okay.
Nearby, these are like swarms of bats are descending on you. There is like some churning in the water as well, and you can now see with the light these swarms of snakes that are making their way some of them across on top of the water or just below the surface of the water.
And where is that?
More to the north,
Oh,
so
okay,
like
but I can't see them yet.
up around here. Some of them you can see that are on the surface. Others are, if it says negative, then they're under the surface of the water.
Okay. And is Luna prone as well?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, is she?
No.
I definitely failed that save for sure.
Okay. Okay. So Luna's prone.
Let's go, Luna.
Whoa.
You could use a help, or you can use a help action to help someone up off prone.
That's what I'm doing.
Cool. Now you have 30 feet of movement, so you only have 15 feet of movement because it's difficult terrain.
Okay. Yeah.
But you could also jump potentially. You have the crazy strength. You might be able to just like flat-footed jump the distance.
700 feet.
Well, it's what it is. It's like something times your strength modifier, right? Like it's your strength modifier. Vikavar, you got this. Vikavar, what's our flat-footed strength distance?
It's probably just some like 3 foot times the strength or something like that. It's okay. I can get to Arlie first.
You can. So, you can jump a long jump. Half. So, number of feet up to your strengths. Half of your strength score, without moving. So. Your strength
10
score
feet.
is 19, so you can jump 10 feet without moving. So you could walk 15 feet and jump another 10.
And that's so close to you. I can't get to her though. I can only get adjacent to. That doesn't give. If I'm adjacent to her, that doesn't make it possible for me to.
Yeah, next to like it's just like combat. If you're next to them, you can interact with them. In the same way as combat, like you're interacting, like you're close enough to be able to, because 5e on the grid system doesn't like characters on the same grid. So if you're next to someone, you can like touch them or interact with them.
All right, so I'm gonna move and help this person and help Luna off of prone.
Amazing, and that's like
also,
yeah.
Placing me between the bats also and Arlie, the bats that are coming this way.
Cool. So that's like a movement and a jump to get past this like slippery. It's like these slippery rocks, and at a certain point, Aelric just gives up on slipping on these rocks and just does a flat-footed jump the rest of the distance to close in. And you're going to use that action to help Luna up out prone.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cool. That's your turn, Aelric. We move to Luna. Saluna.
Okay, thank you so much for helping me up. I just look at you and go, thank you, mortal. I would like now to look to a writhing group of snakes.
No.
And cast.
Vikavar just said that the jumping costs movement. So, Aelric, you are back here. So, Luna, you can still get up. It's half of your movement. But unfortunately, we got fact-checked. Thank you, Vikavar.
The voices in my head tell me, get back.
Yeah. That was a possible future, which didn't occur. Awesome.
Okay, so I'll use half of my movement to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on the like shoreline of this water now, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I still have I can still move 15 feet and then take my action, or is that my whole action?
So you can still move 15 feet, half of 15 feet because it's difficult terrain. So it's 15 feet to get up, and then so you can move like one square
8
effectively.
feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll get myself up. I'll take like one step away from the water's edge.
Cool.
And then I would like to cast a freebie guiding bolt Is there
Oh, yeah.
any more dark left in this cage? Or this cave?
I'm not quite
Or are we
sure.
in
Like,
complete light?
I think this glow orb or whatever it's glow globe or something it's called. It's
Balls of light or something.
yeah, it's able to. I'm gonna double check. It has a 120-foot range for dim light, and 60-foot radius of bright light.
So we're in light now.
Yeah,
we're doing
you're
good.
just in fully bright light at this point.
Okay. Well, I'd still like to do guiding bolt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send it to I guess the bats that are attacking our owl friend.
Bubo, yeah.
Boo. So I will roll to see if I hit.
Cool. And you cast that with what?
Technically, I just get 3 freebies of that, but I'm just casting it at first level.
Okay. At first level, this this guiding bolt does not impact. And if you want to give me an arcane or insight, give me an arcane or an insight check.
Okay. Ruthless. 9.
I mean, it's hard to hit. Like these are tiny creatures, so it's possible that you might have just missed. It's because it's not a single entity that it's like hard to actually catch one. They're constantly moving in this swarm. Anyone else can give me if they want. If they're paying, I mean, people are paying attention. This is now light, so everyone can kind of see what's going on.
I'd also like to ask a question.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a cosmic omen when I finish a long rest. It's just something that I have after a long rest. I'm assuming that I was like asleep,
You have
and
that.
then when I took this form, I have that. Okay, so I just need to roll a d20, and if I get an even, then I have wheel, and if I get an odd, I get woe, which will allow me as a reaction to take a d6 or add a d6 to
Sick.
saving throws, attack throws, and things like that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, amazing.
So I'm just gonna roll it and see what we get. Even. So I have wheel. It's my cosmic omen, which means that I can add things for my homies or yeah.
Sick. That's great. It's like almost like a bardic inspiration kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
That
Very cool.
once
So,
per
and
round,
I get 3 per long rest that I can use. Just like toss it out.
Amazing.
And I think that's all I want to do just for this moment.
Okay.
Sorry, you get
Yeah.
to add a d6 to something.
I can add. Hold on, I'll tell you about it. So my cosmic omen allows me to have wheel whenever a creature you can see within 30 feet of you is about to make an attack roll, a saving throw, or an ability check. You can use a reaction to roll a d6 and add the number rolled to the total.
Wow. Okay, that's great.
And I can do that 3 times.
Very cool.
That's very
With
awesome.
with a 22, Arlie like watching this this guiding bolt fire through the swarm of
Lindsay,
bats. We can hear that
Sorry,
crunching.
my bad.
um,
My bad.
Arlie, this is one of those times where like I want to speak for Arlie, but I don't want to speak for Arlie, but I'm gonna do it because it's out of love. She's like, oh, it seems like these creatures are immune to some of the less powerful magic that we might be casting.
I say thank you, small mortal. I will take this into account for my future endeavors.
Wonderful. And with that, Squeak Noir says, but it is not magic that I use. And he rushes to the edge of the water because he is fearless, or at least he pretends he is. And he's going to fire a heavy crossbow at the swarm that is attacking Bubo. Maybe he's a bad aim, Maybe he's just trying not to hit Bubo, but he doesn't hit much of anything. And that is Squeak Noir's turn.
Wait, you are
Um,
coming into fight. This is him.
Come down here, you cowardly bats. Oh, you have a Squeak Noir. Amazing.
I am attacking you.
Very nice. We are at the end of our first round. We're at 10:18, so I'm going to say probably we're at that time to wrap it up for today. So just to make it easy to start at the top of the round next week. Thank you, everyone. Love the preparation. It was very exciting to be like, we're going to just run into this cave. Oh, it's kind of dark. Oh, I don't know if I want to run into it right now. Bubo, the literal creature of the night, who is like the Batman of Calaman, which we'll be coming back to, in the Owlin of Calaman, got into that dark cave. I've never heard Bubo admit he's scared, so I am going to award a point of inspiration to Bubo for admitting he's scared in front of his fellow players. That was wonderful, lovely, and brave. Next week, we're going to just jump right into the middle of combat with our new Legion, Salune Luna. Thank you so much, Laura, for joining us. This was awesome, for talking to some dangerous, dumb fish. Thank you, our guest, Vikavar. Thank you, Albatross. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. I think we even had a new person who chatted for the first time, if I can go back and even find who that was. But we love you.
Yeah.
Join us again.
Mike,
It's
if
so
it
much
was on
fun. Mike
Hi,
Michael
Mike.
Keane?
Mr.
That's
Mike.
my DM,
Yeah.
or one of my DMs.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mr.
nice.
Mike.
Mr.
Mr. Mike. Mikey. Thank you, Mikey. Come back next week. Cool. And until next time, you are Legion? I need to work on that. I'll work on that. We'll workshop it. Bye.